Jennifer, and welcome to the Tea Pod Podcast. This is the show for tea enthusiasts. It's all about tea education, tea travels, and tea business. It's time to get started. Let's welcome today's guest. Hello to Jennifer Sullivan. How are you today, Jennifer?
Hello, I'm doing well. How are you?
Good. Tell me a little bit, let's become acquainted first before you tell me about Southern Royalty. Do you prefer to be called Jennifer, Jen, J-Girl?
All of the above works for me. Just don't call me late for tea, right?
So you have a lovely new location in Wake Forest, North Carolina. Tell us a little bit about Southern Royalty and what you're going to be doing there.
Yes, the building is almost done, and we are going to be a Southern-themed afternoon tea restaurant. We're going to serve breakfast and lunch with our focus on quality blends of teas and scrumptious little sandwiches and scones and desserts to go with them. We're also going to have a private party room for any private events, birthday parties, bridal showers, business lunches. We are going to have a tea bar where you can sample teas and purchase teas by the ounce.
Well, this has become a family fair, hasn't it? Everybody in your family is involved. Tell us a little bit how the contributions have come in family-wise.
Yes, well, my husband has been very supportive. He was 100% on board when I brought him this crazy idea of leaving my job of 21 years to start this new venture in a completely different field. And my daughter has already assigned herself the task of being in charge of the little children's area where kids will be able to play while the moms relax and enjoy tea. She's in charge of the artwork in there, any tea pouring that might take place. So everybody's been assigned their jobs and they're ready to get on board.
Now, you made a comment to me earlier on another day about, is she on overflow about tea?
Oh, yeah, she's gotten to the point now where she kind of rolls her eyes whenever the word tea comes up. And my favorite, most recent incident was I told her, "You cannot hate tea." And she said, "Yes, I can. It's my life. Tea is your life, and chicken nuggets are my life." And that was definitely my favorite. Independent and strong little thing.
That's good.
That's right.
Now, when you were thinking about doing this, how did you get started with it, and what about your background strengthens you in this area to start a whole new business?
Yeah, well, it's kind of funny. I feel like it's something that's been building up to this path. I've been at my job, like I said, a long time. I'm a regulatory compliance consultant, so it's very rules-based. What better use than towards a tea room where you're going to have to deal with health codes and things like that. But also, I had a lot of hospitality in my job, which I really didn't realize until recently. But planning the company Christmas parties and happy hours after work with all of my coworkers, we were a very tight-knit little family. We did birthday parties and baby showers for each other. And it just really developed over time that I found that my strengths and my passion were more for the hospitality. So it all kind of led me in this direction.
Well, you've been on quite an excursion, too, to expand your tea knowledge. It's exciting for everyone because it is a lifetime learning process. But tell us about what you were doing. This was, I believe we're looking at Northwest Tea Festival.
Yes. Well, once I get my mind set on something, I kind of jump in with both feet. And I thought Seattle at the Northwestern Tea Festival would just be amazing. The workshops they had and all of the tea vendors and just networking with all of the people that, have tea in their blood. So it was just really exciting to get to learn from such amazing people and to meet such amazing people.
Well, I sure envy your signature here in your book, the autograph, Norwood Pratt. That's doing pretty good, huh? process.
Yes, I was super excited for that.
Well, you took some other things too, not just the tea sommelier class. Tell us about the tea and chocolate pairing. What did that mean to you?
That was a great class because it really opened my eyes to some of the flexibility and versatility of tea. And I never, as a tea drinker, I never really thought about it, pairing it with food and things like that. So to experience it and actually taste the tea and then taste the chocolate and have this instructor kind of lead me through the experience and what to pick up on and what was I experiencing individually, and then as a group, what did other people experience? It was very interesting and very exciting. I definitely hope to do something similar in my tea room for anybody interested.
People love tea cupping, they really do, and it's such an experience. As you've been learning and reading, I know you're building your tea library. Can you tell us about the books you're getting?
Yes, well, if there's a book out there, I am trying to acquire it. I definitely have a lot to learn, and I love to learn about it. So any chance I get, I'm looking. And for my birthday, my husband bought me this book, The Romance of Tea by William Uckers. It's great because it's about tea, and it also fills my other passion of finding antiques and collecting antiques. So this book in particular he found was part of the Waldorf employee handbook, basically, on serving tea and everything about tea. It had a little inscription inside, please return. Employees should return it after use. So I thought that was really fun.
That's a real find. A real
find. I was very excited.
I can't help but notice that this is sort of a different kind of tea garden here.
Yeah. Well, I took advantage of the Replacements Limited parking lot sale and acquired as many teacups as I could. And I was looking for fun things to do with some of the ones that maybe I wouldn't drink out of. Maybe they had a chip or were repaired. So I succulents are all the rage, and so I put together some cute little fairy gardens, and actually was selling them at some Christmas fairs and things to try to drum up some interest in the tea room while it's being prepared for opening.
It caught my eye, and so I kind of got off track here, but tell us a little bit more about your book finds.
Yeah, so in addition to The Romance of Tea, I was shopping online on eBay, just looking for some fun little antiques that I didn't even know I needed. And I came across this afternoon tea book, and it's a children's book. It's a children's book, poems and rhymes, things that they would enjoy during their afternoon tea. It's such an old book, and it's very fragile. Actually, I have to handle it very carefully, but I just fell in love with it instantly, and it had to be mine.
It's like, oh my gosh, it's over 100 years old. You can see from the inscriptions, 1888, 1889. It's remarkable.
And it has the sweetest little poems and rhymes from that time period. It's just really cute.
It might be nice to read those at children's tea parties, too.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. You've been out and about. You've been traveling all over the United States to tea rooms. One of the favorite places that I've seen that you have been, a couple favorite places actually, you were in Colorado for a little while.
Yes, anytime I have to leave home, I make sure to find the nearest tea room or tea house and go for an afternoon tea experience. And we were out in Colorado on a family vacation, and this was at the top of my list. I was reading about it online and got even more excited. This tea house, this building, was actually a gift from Dushanbe, Tajikistan. I hope I'm saying that right. They built this building and shipped it overseas to Boulder, where it was then assembled, not using a single power tool. And it is unbelievable in there. The colors are so vibrant, and it is so beautiful. I really fell in love with it, and it really made for such a great atmosphere to enjoy your afternoon tea.
Well, some of the features inside are unusual. Would you tell us about the table that captured our minds?
Yes, absolutely. They had normal seating for the most part, but what they did have in a couple of the corners were these little loungy type tables where you would just sit, you know, crisscross and enjoy your tea. And it looked so comfortable. I asked that poor lady, I said, would you mind if I took a picture, because it just looks like so much fun. And she was very happy to, which was nice. But I just really fell in love with that seat.
Well, it was an experience in other kinds of ways too. How about lunch that day?
Yes, well, I went with my husband's family, and they're not the tea drinking type. So they were really great sports. They were open to coming, and they actually thoroughly enjoyed themselves. The tea house gave us a pot of each flavor that they distribute, and everybody just took turns taking a little sip and passing it along. They accommodated all of us really well, and we all ended up enjoying ourselves pretty nicely. It was great.
Did you taste it? So you tasted each of the teas?
Yes, we got to taste each of them. They gave us as many refills as we wanted, so everybody took a taste of each tea and then kind of found their favorite, and it was amazing. The teas were really good. It actually was kind of funny. The herbal tea ended up being everyone's favorite. It was a tangerine cinnamon.
Oh.
That was the majority favorite.
That's interesting, especially with the food. I'm thinking how it goes with the food. I can see it down here. Did you taste like things different because there's chocolate up on top? Did you like drink something dark to go with the chocolate, or you just kept on drinking?
Yeah, I loved all of them. So I started off with the Lady Grey for the chocolate. You know, that's the one I did for the chocolate. But the scones, they had an English breakfast. They had some green teas, which were really nice with the light cucumber sandwiches. The chicken salad was very good. And so I just tried to sample the teas, taking a bite of each of the plates to see what I experienced and kind of what stood out to me as pairing well, trying to get an idea, get a feel for what I liked.
For the children at the table, was there anything different about the tea tray, or did they eat the adult food, or was there anything different for them?
Well, they were very sweet to offer a couple of triangles of peanut butter and jelly on the tray just for the child that attended. So she appreciated that for sure.
And still out and about in town, you visited another place. Can you tell us about this one?
Yeah, like I said, I try to hit as many as I can. We went to SERENITEA in Boulder. Actually, I think it was actually in downtown Estes Park where I found SERENITEA. And it was a cute little herbal and tea shop. It was very beautiful in there. And a couple of teas caught my eye, the Keeman and also the goji berry green tea. So I picked up some of that and enjoyed it back at our cabin when we were done for the day.
You know, there's so many things about these, the photographs that you took, so many things about the interior of her shop that I absolutely love. And I'm going to mention it because it's very clever what she's done. She had a color palette that matched all the way around and went together without detracting in any way from the tea. It really enhanced the tea. Her shelves look great. She had extra product, and it looks from the photo there that she was really one-on-one with customer service. It's very impressive.
Yeah, it felt very welcoming in there, and she was very friendly, and the displays were very eye-catching. I definitely enjoyed shopping in there and could not leave without some tea.
How else? Well, the learning process, and what do you enjoy most about cupping?
For me, the cupping has been really relaxing and very educational. It's really allowing me to kind of broaden my my taste for tea, and it is just something you get to focus on one thing. So it's very relaxing. You get to put your full attention into it, and it's just a great little project, a great little way to wind down and really experience tea for what it's meant for.
Do you reserve certain days of the week for cupping, or do you cup every day, Jen?
Well, I would love to cup every day, but if I don't get to, my cupping day is Sunday. Every Sunday I cup, no matter what.
That's a good schedule. It really is. And you're preparing for open, so you're doing all kinds of things. Tell us about your office and your setup.
Yeah, so we just built our new house, and I'm waiting for the tea room to kind of be ready. So the shelves you're looking at will transfer over once I'm able to move in there. The tea cart is an antique tea cart that we refurbished and repainted, and it's how we're going to be serving tea in the restaurant, hopefully. So we'll have a nice silver platter on top with the teapots, and we'll wheel them over to the table. I just think they're so beautiful, and I think they're a great way to deliver the tea to the table as part of the experience.
So do I. It's gorgeous, and I love that color. Matches your logo, doesn't it?
Yes, I just have been really drawn to that color lately, and also it complements a nice calming lavender color, so I want to use those in my tea room wherever I can.
It's really pretty. It really, truly is. Well, surprise, surprise, you have a cookbook.
Yes.
This is fabulous. You're an Amazon author. Tell us about your cookbook.
How exciting, right? I never thought I would write a book ever. So it was very exciting for me to get the courage to do this and for it to come out as well as it did. So I've had a lot of support, and everybody has really loved it. And I think it talks a little bit about myself and what I think, trying to paint the picture of an afternoon tea.
Well, exactly. It's really beautiful. I wish you well with that, truly.
Thank you.
It just keeps going. So if a person were to go to Amazon and enter your name, Jennifer Sullivan, and then Southern Royal Tea, they will come up with the cookbook, yes?
Yes, absolutely.
Well, there are other ways of contacting you, and I appreciate you for being here and answering our questions today. I would have loved to talk with you all afternoon, had some other things. I will ask you one quick thing even while the music is playing. But if you were to say that you had the biggest challenge in all of this, what has been your biggest challenge?
I think the biggest challenge has just been really kind of explaining the concept to the banks, and also finding the right location and having that work properly. Those have been my two biggest hurdles.
Well, Jennifer Sullivan, thank you so much. I wish you well, and we'll have to do another one.
And thank you for tuning in.
Thank you for having me.
If you enjoyed today's show, head over to teatrademark.com to subscribe to our newsletter, catch our next episode, and follow us on social media. This is Jennifer Peterson with Tea Trademark, reminding you that Amen is a happy place.